right, so let's bring it back to the Pink Room. The Brink. You've had a few milestones over the last, it feels like several years, but has it really been 1 year yet? Technically?
I think it might just be like we're like 2 weeks away from
2 weeks away. Because like I remember May is when they Okay. It's been about a year, and you had so much success with.
Like you said, just a little bit. You had a couple milestones, like just a little bit. Like I ain't do too much.
Just a couple milestones within a short amount of time.
A couple billion.
But they've all helped you. They've all helped you ascend to where you are now, which in my opinion is sitting more like pop culture and the pop status of things, because your household name now, Armani. My mom was like, yeah, the guy with the white bees.
Yeah.
Like, I remember that. She was like, he was on that show. Similar to how your she opens that voicemail up on your opening. Yes, that's how my mom was talking. And so I'm very proud of you. But
shout out to your mom.
With Billie Eilish really being like the brink of you back last summer, I guess, about a year ago. Now, between that road to now, with Road to Casablanca, you have showed the world who you are, but now the movie's been created throughout the music, throughout the project. Yeah. Tell me about that road.
I feel like I don't know, like the more you live, you just have like a constant opportunity for reinventing yourself and revealing yourself, finding out new versions of yourself, and just like explaining and sharing new versions of yourself. So like with Casablanca, like I think, or the road to Casablanca, because Casablanca is the actual project. The road to is just like the bridge that gets us there. It was just really what you just said, like just that transitional phase from like, oh, this is who I was growing up. This is who I, thought I was going to be. This is all the things that inspired me. And this is where I'm headed now. This is like, this is who I am. I had to learn to be comfortable with where I'm at in life. Because it was like, there was a little bit of like imposter syndrome with the fact that like a lot of it just happened really fast. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it just happened in a year, and there was like a version of me that's like, nah, I don't do this. I don't go to the club. I don't want to go to club appearances. I don't want to go pop bottles. I don't want to go woo-woo. Like, I don't want to buy chains. I just want to sit in the studio. I want to be around the neighborhood. I want to go kick it with my homies. There was a version of that had to like, I guess relinquish yourself for me to become the next version of myself.
Great word, relinquish.
And yeah, so that's what really Casablanca was like, just, it's a part of that discovery process, so that I felt like it was necessary to kind of go to where I want to go, and so that when I arrived there, all the people who was listening arrived there at the same time. It's just kind of like identifying
those listening arrived there at the same time.
Yeah,
I like that.
So it's like it's kind of identifying who I am throughout the process before I can before like we really just like open the door all the way at Casablanca. So like there's like even like a record like Proud of Me, like ending it with a record like Proud of Me and starting it with a record like Proud of You is because for me, being proud, like this idea of proud has always been external. It's never been like an internal thing. For me, like I don't know about other people, but for me it's like I've always heard I'm proud of you. And I'm like, oh, well, I appreciate you.
I don't know what that shit feel like for myself, right?
In my head, I'm like, ain't done working. Like I still got shit like I need to take care of. I still got shit I need to
stressed out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like you knew what this look like on here. Like I ain't too much to be proud of. But it was in the midst of hellfire, but at the same time, I just got back from Europe. We just did the EMAs. We just did Jimmy Kimmel. We had just put Jimmy Fallon on the schedule. We just had this lined up. Then we was about to do the New Year's Rockin' Eve thing. And that was where I had to sit down and be like, oh, I'm really proud of me. Like I'm I'm really happy with the fact that I'm doing all this. It's like, and as much as stressful as this is sometimes, as crazy as it get, like, damn, like it's no longer like a one day thing. It's a tomorrow thing. It's a next week thing. It's like, this is really my life now. And so, I had to like have that conversation with myself internally. And that's what that project was.
What does proud mean to you? Like, you tell me you proud of me. What does that mean?
It's like, to me, it's like, it's acknowledgement. It's acknowledgement, and it's like, it's acknowledgement and it's encouragement. For me, proud because I'm on one of those paths where it's like, yo, the road get really rocky sometimes. Proud for me is encouragement to say like, yo, I know you aren't where you're about to go, but I'm very happy that you got and where you've gotten so far. I'm very, very happy that you were able to pull it together and build what you built. Even though I know you aren't where you want to be at or where your destination is, I'm very happy that you still trekking and chugging along and like making your way there. Because like nobody's around when it's 2 a.m. and you forgot to go to sleep and now you just up with your thoughts and you know what I'm saying? And like
you forgot to go to sleep. It's crazy.
Because you know the nights and you just like
I didn't even sleep last night. I don't even know why.
Yeah, see,
it had nothing to do with today. It's just I gotta carry. Right?
Exactly. It's like nobody there when it's you in the shower by yourself and then them thoughts start bouncing off the wall and you just like I had one of those weeks. I had one of those weeks during release week. It was a lot of thoughts going on in my head and it's like, I had to sit down, and Proud of Me was a soundtrack for it because it was a lot of things that was going right, a lot of things going wrong, a lot of personal things going on. And I look outside and I'm on a billboard and I'm on another billboard and I'm on and then they just sent me another billboard. They like, yo, I've never seen this many playlists on an EP in my life. I've never seen this. And it's like, this person's talking about me, that person, we got to go do a magazine cover. I'm sitting down with you and I'm like, oh, all right, just leave that alone for a second. Like, just really be a part of this moment. Standing is light. That's what it was. That's what it's always been. What I've been saying is like, there's the street lights I came from and the stage lights I'm headed to. And I'm trying my best to stand in my light and know the right light to be standing in,
Stand in your light and know the right light to be standing in.
Know the right light.
And know how not to dim your own light.
Exactly.
I'm working on that too.
Yeah.
But you see how I got you to give me the definition of proud. So like that should kill any imposter syndrome you ever have. Because that's how people feel about you,
Right. Well, it was an internal thing with it was internal conflict, but it was also externally like I had to realign the friend circle. Like there was some people who wasn't really growing with me or growing at the pace that I was growing and like almost was like blaming me for not being the same person or like, creating like, I don't know, just creating misinformed characters of me that isn't me. And I'm like, I was just letting certain in my head where I'm like, nah. And I'm like going out my way to try and prove it. And it was like,
because you care.
Yeah. I got a heart. I don't know when it happened, but at some point, I got a heart.
You've been had a heart.
Nah, not always, but yes, at some point I got a heart and certainly be affecting me. So,
Not always. So when did you get a heart then? You say at some point you don't know.
I think it was when my niece was born.
Oh.
Yeah, my niece was born, I got a heart. I don't know when, I remember one time she did some not like and like, but I don't remember what it was. She's a little kid, but at one point, I realized I was like, yo, I actually care.
Yeah,
I care. Like it's a Rick and Morty episode where Ice-T, he was like, I care now. It's playing in the back of my head, but yeah. And somebody I was like, oh, I care. I don't know people's thoughts, opinions, other people's, how people feel, how people this and that. It affects me. I don't like it. I don't like that shit at all. But yeah, it's real.
Well, speaking of something that's really real to me is how you portray yourself in your content and how you tell the world your stories, but through entertaining skits and stuff like that. That's what you've been doing for a while. Mm-hmm. But tell me about how you strategize that and how to put your music out. Put your foot on our necks. Yeah. Put your foot on our necks through the content that you create on social and sharing your music.
I think it's really just about at some point the song stops. The song be 3 minutes, 4 minutes. If you listen to one of my songs, it's a minute and a half.
Shut up, bro.
so a minute and a half, and at that point you completely forgot that you forgot about Armani White. You start doing some.
Yeah.
What travel is just as much as content. What travel is even further sometimes is content because we talk about it, we laugh about it. I think about the lunch table, content, TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is, that's the new Chappelle show. That's the new, whatever it is that when we get back with the homies, we talk about that. When I was in school, we'd come back, yo, did you see it last night when they did da-da-da-da? That's how we kind of share content now. So for me, if I want to be in everybody's face, you have to make content just as good as you make music that's good. And
hold on. Make content just as good as you make music.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
That's interesting that you say that they're correlated to you. It's not oh, okay, let me just go show off on the camera. Then I'll go crazy in the studio. But the way,
people gonna have one of the other. There's a lot of content creators that try and make music, and then they have music. It's nah, you gotta really apply yourself to both things that you're doing because they're different verticals. They completely different verticals, and they serve different purposes. So for me, I just took a moment. Like I had this guy. He told me he was like he was a songwriter, but he was saying that his music wasn't compelling. Like he didn't, like when it came down to writing songs, he didn't know how to like really get into people's heads or convince them that convince them and the music. And so he stopped making music for 2 years, and he learned how to sell cars.
I thought you was gonna say crack.
No.
Oh God.
Yeah, that'd have been crazy. Not every story is a hood story. This was supposed to be inspirational. Give me a second.
He learned how to sell cars, but that's interesting.
But he learned how to sell cars. But he went to a dealership where he just learned how to be persuasive, sell cars. He did it for 2 years. And at that point, he came back to writing music, and the music was actually like, you know, like I think
he learned how to sell dreams. That's what he learned.
Yeah,
and he
but like, you know, you go to the car,
wasn't
or you go to the car dealership, like, you know, these like, oh no, you know, it's $18,000, but I set you up on a payment plan for this, and then you end up paying $28,000, but you don't even realize. Like he learned how to just like persuade people, and that was my strategy with TikTok. When it came to TikTok, none of my thought process on TikTok was really like, I got to find a weasel way to kind of insert my music in here. It was like, I just need to be ingratiated and involved in the culture of TikTok. I need to be a voice, a person, a figure that people care about for whatever reason in TikTok. Mm-hmm. And so when I did it, I was like, let me just do something that's familiar to me. And
familiar to me.
Yeah.
Like that.
Something that's familiar to me. I don't want to create some like, that I gotta like, you know, then follow up with and keep it going, and it's not real or authentic to me. So I thought, let me just do something. So I write in my journal anyway. Like, let me just make funny journals. So I just started making journals like, this is what a Philly would do in this situation. This is what a Philly would do in this situation. And at some point, you know, it got to a point where like, I'm outside, I'm like, you know, I'm at gas. He's like, yo, you the journal boy. Like, yo, I was just watching it.
Not the journal boy.
You the journal boy, I'm watching it. But he was like, man, why these driving Hellcat smoking Black and Miles? And I'm like,
that was a funny way.
Like, so you know, you get to that point. At that point, people was just paying attention, and you know, people were just paying attention. And then even when I transitioned to like putting music on there on the platform, it was like, yo, let's still just do something authentic.